Does Brexit matter to Europeans and in Europe the same way that people in the UK are obsessed about it and what it means for their future? What's your view, Sam?
Another difficult question. Yes, well, I think Americans like to use the phrase wake-up call, so I'll use that phrase. I think it was a wake-up call, and one that was much needed. Unfortunately, the call came a bit too late, and I think you had the Italian election before the call had really been heard, and that sort of delivered the same message, but in a much harsher way, and in a way that ultimately I think will be much harder for the European Union and especially the Eurozone to deal with.
Are you saying that if the Italian election had come before the vote in the UK, it might have made a difference?
What I'm saying is that the big problem that drove both of those votes is that the European Union has a profound democratic deficit. Basically, people they feel that the European institutions are gaining more and more power, which is to an extent true. And they feel that they don't have a say in the way these European institutions are run in the same way they do with their national governments. Some are pretty upset about their national governments, but European institutions, it's even worse. And so, your first wake-up call ought to have been the European parliamentary elections, where populist parties were the largest winners in France and the UK and others. People ignored that. Brexit was the next big event that showed people that there was really a problem that people need to do something about. And now the Italian elections, Brexit is something that for both the UK and the European Union, they can both survive. It's not really that big of an issue. It's a poor economic decision, but it's not that big of an issue. What will be a real problem is dealing with an Italian government that is composed of it's hard to classify radical right, radical left, far right, far left. I mean, are they right? Is the movement, Five-Star Movement, really left? It's hard to say, but in any event, it's a purely populist government in a major Eurozone power, and I think that also is a reaction to this democratic deficit, this feeling that people can't control what the European Union does, and that's going to be a serious problem.